Hi everyone, welcome to my channel So Simple. Today we're going to learn how to make a bodysuit, and this is basically what you need. If you already have a bodysuit like I do, that's perfect because you could use that as your pattern. If you don't have one, that's okay. You could use a t-shirt. Make sure that you fold it up to a little, about an inch below your waist, and either a bottom piece of a bathing suit or, I don't know, underwear. This is a bottom piece of a bathing suit that I'm using. What you're going to do, if you don't have a bodysuit already, you're going to use these two pieces and make one pattern out of it. Make sure that you will be using always stretch with this fabric. I just find that it's easier to work with because you'll get a stretch sideways on the top, and you also get a stretch the long way, because remember, the end has to go all the way down below your crotch area. So make sure that you have enough stretch going that way and this way for your project. Okay, so I've lined up my two pieces just to help those out that don't have a one piece. I folded my fabric. Remember, I'm using a four-way stretch so that it stretches in all directions. I folded it in half and then in half again, so that over here you have four pieces. I put my pieces on the fold. Remember, the end right here is going to be straight on the fold, not slanted. Remember, straight on the fold, if you would, regardless of what you're using as a pattern. And then down here, you're going to leave about another inch and a half. You're going to cut at least another inch and a half, and when you cut all around, leave about half an inch to an inch of seam allowance. So go ahead and do that. Cut, and I'll be right back. Okay, so now you've cut your fabric. This is what it should look like. I've gone ahead and pinned the sides where we're going to do next, which is sew the sides that I show pinned. However, over here, when you get to this part, you're going to stop sewing about an inch or so, and then once you're done with that, I'll explain to you why. So go ahead and sew from that end to about an inch, right? If you have to mark it this way, mark it this way so that you know to stop. When you get to this point, stop sewing and leave that much room without sewing. So do that to both sides. Make sure to use your stretch stitch because we're working with stretchy fabric, and I'll be right back to show you the next step. Okay, now that you have done that, what we want to get now is this look. We want to make sure that the front part, actually this is the front part is going to be shorter than the back part. So this is what I'm going to try to accomplish now. So what you're going to do now is you're going to take the piece that you've sewn, and I've marked it with a chalk. Mark about an inch from this end, but make sure that you don't cut this part. You're only going to cut like this. Try to make this like if it runs right into the cut. Do that for the other side. If you have to measure to make sure that both sides are even, do that. So cut that only on the top part of your fabric, not on the bottom. Once you do that, you're going to cut an inch off of this part. Only the top part. Forget the bottom part. You're going to cut an inch off of this part, because this part also in the front has to be a little shorter than the back. That's the way the bodysuit goes. So you're going to cut an inch off of here, and then you're going to kind of blend and cut up to where you marked your point when you were sewing. So do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, once you have cut the little pieces to make the front shorter than the back, like this little piece off so that the part on the bottom is longer. Once you have done that, you're going to fold, and this is where it gets tricky. You should have a little spot left over right here. You're going to fold that to the back, and then you're going to fold the rest. Fold and pin all the way down on the top and on the shoulders, and we're going to go and sew that. Okay, so now that you've done that, What you're going to do now is this little triangle that you have left over from where you had to fold. You could cut that little piece off. When you sewed this piece together, it should have been one straight sew from here to the other end, and then from on the other side it should have been one continuous sewing that you did. So go ahead and cut that off. And over here you have options. You fold this once and sew it so that it looks nice and neat. Fold the other one and sew that, and then what you're going to add is these little things here. They're called hook and eye closures. You could add about, depending on the size you have, you could add about 3. Preferably these should be added by hand. They have little spots where you could sew, so you balance it, measure 1 2 3, and you could do that. Or you could do it the way I'm doing it, which is the real easy way. I'm going to just put these 2 pieces together and sew across. I'm going to add it. It's going to be sealed. There's going to be an opening, but it's much more comfortable if you have the closure, because if you have to go to the bathroom or whatever, then you could just unsnap and snap it back. But I'm going to do it like that. Also, you could sew the edges of your sleeve. Remember, just fold over and sew that. You could do a regular stitch for that. Sew that and your neck area. Pretty much once you do all that, you're done. However, I'm going to be adding sleeves to mine, so if you want to go as far as adding sleeves, stick around and we'll continue. And on my neck area, I'm going to actually cut the front a little lower than the back, because I want it to be kind of scooped a little bit. So I'm going to go do that, and I'm going to show you what I did with the sleeves.